a battle to the finish.
I'm just trying to figure out what to wear tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah, to dinner. We're going out for dinner, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. It slipped my mind.
No, that's okay. You got a lot on your mind, all the family crises and everything.
Well, yeah, that's true, but you're my family, too, and they're yours.
I wonder how many of the Capwells would share that sentiment. I don't feel much like a wife anyway.
I didn't know how upset you were. I'm sorry I forgot about dinner.
No, it's not that.
What then?
I don't want to bother you with it.
I'm your husband. If you can't bother me, who can you?
I'm just frustrated. You know, none of this stuff fits. How can we go out to dinner tonight? You know, people are going to know that I'm pregnant.
Can't hide it forever.
Yeah, I know. I think that should be our secret for a little while longer.
Long enough for people to assume that I'm the father?
Got any luck?
Oh, yeah, I've had lots of luck. That's why I'm here.
Excuse me, I thought you were somebody else.
Listen, fella, this is a ladies' mission. You don't look like you need a handout anyway.
That's right. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I bothered you. I didn't mean to. Excuse me. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Listen, I take it you haven't had any luck finding our friend yet?
Look, I have questioned everybody who's been wearing plaid pants, and none of them have been gaudy, and they don't particularly like being grilled about it either.
Are you okay?
Yeah, but no.
Are you giving up?
Well, no, I'm ashamed. These women are very proud, Cruz. The only reason they're out on the streets is because they have to be.
Well, I know that, Eden, but for what it's worth, the streets look pretty good compared to what Jake Morgan could be facing.
Look, I know. I'll talk to everybody that's here, okay? But you should get going. These people are going to think you're a cop or social worker, and they're going to let loose with a few choice words.
Okay. Well, you look great, and thanks for hanging in.
Did Jake say something about a woman wearing a baseball cap?
Yeah, Dodger cap.
Julia's here. If you're too tired or you don't want to talk to her, I can just tell her to...
No, I want to.
Well, personally, I kind of like to see you get some sleep. I know you didn't get any sleep last
I'm
night.
not tired.
What do you mean you're not tired? Are you just afraid you might have some bad dreams? Haley, I wish you'd look at me when we're talking. It get me worried.
Look, if I have something to say, I'll say it, all right? I'm sorry.
I'll just tell Julia to come back some other time.
No, please, Ted, I want... Ask her to stay till I get dressed, all right? Please. How is she?
I don't know. She seems sad one minute, and then she's angry the next. I don't know. Maybe you can talk to her, get some better luck.
I hope so. I want you to understand why I'm here, Ted.
I know you want to help her out. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't know what would have happened if you went there the night she was raped.
I want to help her. But right now, I need to ask her some questions about Jake Morgan.
I don't want to do that. Okay, I mean, if we need any legal advice, I can always... It's Mason.
I'm Jake's attorney, Ted.
You're defending the man who raped my wife?
Ted, that is not proven.
Get out. Get out of my house.
Did you hear the doorbell?
No, I didn't hear anything. Oh, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Could have sworn I heard the doorbell.
Yeah, and you checked the mail 3 or 4 times. You jump every time the phone rings. You're expecting something or someone. Now, what's going on?
I guess I made it pretty obvious, didn't I? Yeah, you cover things up a lot better than I do.
Talking about?
Oh, come on, let's fess up. We both know what day it is.
Okay, you got me. All right, I know it's March. Oh, terrific. It's your birthday. Sorry, I forgot all about it.
You really did forget. And here I thought you were being sly all morning.
I don't even have a good excuse, Dad. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it. Listen, I'm not going to lay a guilt trip on you just because my only son forgets one of the most important days in my life. Oh, no problemo.
You're going to nail me to the wall on this, aren't you?
No, I wouldn't dream of doing that. Don't even give it a second thought. No, I mean, the day might come when you need a favor from me, and I would have to remember this heartbreaking day.
Okay, I admit it. I'm worthless. I'm nothing. I'm a worthless sense of human being. All right?
When your birthday rolls around, which I might add I have been planning for months, special gifts, all sorts of marvelous things, well, I don't want you to have even one twinge of guilt, all right?
Happy birthday. I'm sorry, all right? Happy birthday.
Now, we all know that that's not for me.
Okay. Hello? Well, as a matter of fact, he's standing right here in front of me. Hang on just a sec. Looks like somebody didn't forget your birthday.
Hello. Augusta. Well, thank you. As a matter of fact, I had totally forgotten it was my birthday.
So, is this okay for tonight?
You look wonderful. You always look wonderful. I want to know how you feel.
I'm fine.
Really?
Really.
Then why the comment about not feeling like much of a wife?
You know.
We've been through all this.
It's just not something that goes away.
Victoria, you don't have to apologize for not being able to make love.
I'm sorry. I can't help but feel guilty.
You shouldn't. The doctor said it was in your best interest, and the pregnancies.
I know what the doctor said, but it's not fair to you.
I assure you, I'm perfectly content to wait until after we get the go-ahead from the doctor. Almost. I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize the well-being of the baby.
Mason, I hope I haven't interrupted anything between you two.
As a matter of fact, you have, Dad.
Well, that's too bad. I'm sorry, but I have some business to discuss with you.
Oh, I was just going out anyway.
Victoria, there's no reason for you
No,
to leave.
it's no problem. I had some shopping anyway. I'll see you later. CC.
Victoria.
Well, now that you've succeeded in driving my wife from our home, what is this pressing business? Has to do with Kelly, I imagine?
No, I made arrangements for Kelly and Jeffrey's legal counsel. Take care of everything. You don't have to be concerned about that.
That's supposed to be a slap in the face?
Mason, you don't have to take the offensive. I know I've spoken to you about this before. I just don't want you to be sidetracked in pursuing my divorce from Gina, that's all.
I told you I'm working on it, but there's certain legal constraints that can't be rushed.
I want to be rid of her as soon as legally possible.
Believe me, you don't need to clarify that point. How's Haley?
She's recovering very nicely. She wants to forget everything and go on just as it was before.
Somehow I don't think that's going to be the answer.
No, of course you wouldn't. You flavor melodrama too much, but I think it's a good sign if the girl wants to get on with her life, Mason. However, it is your brother. Ted, I'm worried about. He's been through a ringer himself, you know.
Yeah, thoughtless of Haley to let that happen.
I want you to use all the contacts you have to get Jake Morton convicted as soon as possible.
You're well aware that I'm doing exactly that, so why the prodding?
I would just like to make sure you're doing everything you can.
Everything I can, yes, for Ted, and everything I can to see that there aren't any distasteful obstacles to your wedding. The fact that your daughter-in-law was raped is only an inconvenience that has to be sidestepped before the universe can return to its natural order.
That's a damn lie. I care about the girl as much as you do.
Inasmuch as it might affect you or Ted, yeah, probably.
What exactly is your point, or do you even have one?
That I know how you think, Dad. And you know that I know it. And that's why you keep coming to me. Because I'm the only one that really understands the machinations of your mind. I know how you think. And I somehow can still stand to be around you.
Well, then it's just plain drivel, and I'm not going to listen to any more.
If anyone else ever figured out how you really think, they'd head for the hills, Dad. Don't you understand that? I haven't. You know that. You count on it. And you use it. But you shouldn't, Dad. Because one day I'm going to look too long and too deeply into that Byzantine mind of yours, and then I'm going to be the one to turn tail and run. And then you really will be alone.
I have a legal obligation to question Haley.
I don't give a damn about your legal obligation, Julia, to that scum.
Ted, Jake has a right to counsel.
Did Jake have a right to rape my wife?
Do you honestly think that I would represent someone who I thought
I
was
know how these trials work. You twist these things around. Jake and Haley were friends. They spent time together. All Jake did was misread a few signals. It's a natural mistake.
You know that I wouldn't do that. Ted, I don't think that he's guilty.
So what? I mean, you're wrong, okay? But if you believe that, so what? You know, I thought you were our friend, Julia.
I am.
You are not. A friend would not represent a guy who even looks guilty knowing how he felt. A friend is somebody we can trust to always be on our side. I don't even know why you're doing this, is to get back at Mason or what, but you are not our friend.
Julia? I'm really glad you're here. Oh, please come inside, okay?
Haley, you're not going to be so friendly once you figure out why Julia is here.
What are you talking about?
Haley, I came to find out how you are. I also came to ask you a few questions about the statement that you made accusing Jake Morton of raping you. I'm Jake's attorney.
Julia, she doesn't want to talk about it. Now, please.
Haley, I don't want to badger you. I really don't. I just want to ask you a few questions.
Julia, I asked you once. Please.
I know this is difficult for you, and I know that you're confused, but there's some things that you said during your statement that I don't understand, Haley, and I You said you struck me. You also said the person needed to put something over your face so that you couldn't see anything. Now, if you couldn't see anything, how did you know that you hit him?
Pillowcase fell off. You think I'm lying?
No, Haley. No, I didn't say that.
Julia, get out of here. You've managed to upset her. Please.
I'm sorry, honey. But if you don't agree to answer my questions, I'm going to have to ask them to you on the stand. And if someone else were doing this, then you'd have to be afraid that they'd use the tactics that Ted is so afraid of. I'm sorry. I hoped, I just hoped that you would understand.
Nice hat.
What?
Dodgers. I'm a fan. I like the Dodgers.
Yeah, I like them too, but I wear this to keep the rain off and the sun out of my face. Premature aging, you know.
How's the food? Any good?
Well, they got a lot left. You should have some.
No thanks, I'm not hungry.
You must be nice. Must have had too many wieners at the game, hmm?
You know, I know this great place near the beach, you know, where you can get a hot meal, different types of things than you can get here.
How much?
Free.
I know all the soup kitchens. I don't know a place near the beach.
Maybe it's a place not many people know about.
You're real pretty. You haven't been on the street long, have you?
No, not very long.
No. Your skin's still pretty. Soft looking. I used to be pretty. Not like you, but not half bad either.
Listen about that free...
Look, there's no place near the beach like you're talking about. I've been making the rounds around here long enough to know. What do you want?
I was wondering if maybe you could help me with this friend I have, Jake.
I don't know. Any guy named Jake.
See, now, I think maybe you do. He had a bottle of gin. He's young, he has blonde hair, and he's muscular. You gotta remember.
Maybe.
I can get that hot meal I was talking about.
What about a bath?
What?
Could I take a hot bath at this place near the beach? They give you food. Sometimes they give you a bed, but there's never any place where you can wash your hair and keep yourself clean.
Yeah, you can take a hot bath there.
I remember your friend. He had a lot of gin. He gave me some. I don't drink a lot, but there was a real chill in the air that night, and I couldn't get into a shelter. I just needed a little to take the nip off.
So was Jake with you a while?
Yeah. Seemed like a nice kid. Tickled, but nice. A little sad. Maybe that's why he was drinking. He finally dropped the bottle and broke it when he fell over the curb. Scratched his face up, too. Too bad. Real handsome face that kid has. Is he in trouble?
Not if you can back up his story, he's not in trouble. Would you do that for me?
Do I get the hot bath first?
You bet. Come with me.
She said she's happy. Most of the time. Which means that she's not happy some of the time.
You're still crazy about that woman, aren't you, Dan?
Warren, I don't know whether you could ever stop caring about somebody you loved for a couple of decades. I manage. She manages. I don't know what the future holds.
Yeah, Mr. Lockridge?
Yeah.
Lionel Lockridge. Supposed to read this to you. Dearest Lionel, you deserve the best, so here's some of your favorites at the door. Your head and shoulders above the rest. I'll be at the Orient Express at 4.
Is there a card?
No, it's anonymous. Your head and shoulders above the rest. I'll be at the Orient Express at 4. You get it?
I think so. Did the same person send this who wrote the poem?
No. They tell me what they want.
Oh.
I always write the poems.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's really swell.
See ya.
Must have been an English major, yeah. Okay.
Hey, look at this. You got your caviar in here, chocolate, champagne, everything you love is in this
And
bag.
I know who sent it. Augusta sent it, right?
just a second. Whoever said this is going to meet you at the Orient Express at 4, Augusta called from New York. That's impossible.
No. She said she called from New York, but she was obviously here in Santa Barbara. The connection was clear as a bell. You heard that.
No, wait. I think you're jumping to some pretty big conclusions here, Dan.
Come on. Who else would do that? I mean, that's Augusta's style. Everything that I like in the world was sent by a poetic delivery man. I mean, that is her style, buddy.
Wait, you just can't forget everything that's been happening.
Here, hang on. Yeah, hi. Yeah, this is Lionel. Yeah, listen, I need to order some flowers. Some yellow roses. No, they have to be yellow roses.
Hello, please come in.
It's all right. This is the friend I was telling you about.
Hi.
In a place this nice? How come you let her live on the street?
Well, I don't actually live on the street all the time. I guess I didn't explain that fully.
What is this? If you're doing one of those news things about homeless bag ladies, count me out.
No, really, Dottie. I need for you to help my friend Jake.
He's a friend of yours, too?
Well, I'm interested in knowing when the last time you saw him was. Excuse me.
Hi, I thought I heard Ian here. Is that Jake's alibi?
Yeah, listen, Julia, I want you to meet Dottie.
Hi, Dottie. It's nice to meet you.
Oh.
I'll arrange for her to make a statement as soon as I can.
Statement? What are you all, a bunch of police?
Oh, Dottie, look, why don't you take that hot bath I promised you, and then I'll make sure you get the hot food that I...
Is there a lock on the door?
Of course there is, and I'll get clean towels for you, too.
All right.
Okay. It's right in here.
I just came from seeing Haley.
How did it go?
It didn't go well. Ted is furious with me for taking on Jake as a client. He thinks I'm going to attack Haley's story.
Well, that's understandable, in the circumstances.
No, Julia, I can try to talk to Ted if you want me to.
How did you get here so fast, anyway?
Well, I got your message. I was right next door.
Next door?
Yeah, there's a house for sale.
What? Are you thinking of becoming a neighbor?
Maybe.
I was hoping somebody wonderful would move into that house.
You know, the only thing, though, is that the house only has one bedroom, so...
Well, how many do you usually sleep in at once?
Well, I was thinking of using one of the rooms for an office.
Oh, I'll get that.
Hi.
Oh, Terry, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, it's no problem. I was talking to the owner. I think we can get him down another 10,000. You won't find another beauty on the beach for that price.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'll come right back.
And I've been thinking about that one bedroom. You know, it's plenty big enough to set up a cradle. And by the time your baby's old enough and needs its own room, well, maybe you can add on at that time.
Terry, why don't you wait for me next door? I'll be right there. Sure. Well, it looks like the proverbial cat is out of the bag.
You're pregnant?
Yes. Yes, I am, and please don't ask me any more questions about it. And most importantly, please, just keep this a secret. No one is supposed to know.
You can tell your boss that I want the charges against my daughter Kelly and Jeffrey Conrad dropped immediately.
That's not going to be very easy, Mr. Capra.
I don't give a damn about easy. He owes me a favor, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I'll talk to him, and I'll get back to you.
Oh, don't bother getting back to me. If I don't hear from him within 24 hours, you'll hear from me. Through the newspapers, television reports.
I don't understand.
Well, he will. Soon he hears about rumors about the fascinating and highly questionable fundraising techniques used in the last election. Waiter. So, just how much of my conversation were you privy to?
You weren't making much of an effort to be private. Sorry I heard anything.
Well, I'm embarrassed. Are you?
I didn't for a moment think you were.
And I don't give a damn how unscrupulous you think I am.
I know you're unscrupulous. You had my apartment ransacked.
I would do anything for my children.
It's a rather frightening quality you have, although I don't believe it extends to all your children.
Victoria Lane, Campwell. I don't have the time or the patience for another one of your diatribes against my mistreatment of Mason. But since you are married to my son, let's get a few things straight. First of all, he is not the poor outcast that he likes people to think he is. I tried very hard to keep him when my wife and I were divorced. No child of mine would be brought up by anyone other than a Capwell.
I have no idea what you mean.
What I mean is that my son is very much, a great deal, in fact, just like I am, whether he likes to let on or not.
Oh, I know that's not true. You seem to think of Capwell as an indelible stamp that shapes everyone who carries it. It's only a name, Cece.
Oh, no, my darling, you're wrong. If everyone's more than a name, and you'll find that out soon enough. It's in the blood of the Campbells. It's bred in the bones of the Campbells. I have it. Mason has it. You don't have it.
Wasting your time, Julia.
I have something that I'd like you to see.
I'm not interested.
Ted, it's the results of Jake Morton's polygraph test.
I'd like to see that.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to protect Haley's interests and make sure her rights aren't violated.
Do you honestly think that I would do anything to hurt Haley?
Well, in your zeal to protect your client, you've apparently already been here badgering the poor girl. May I see the report?
No, you may not. I want Haley to see it. Everything Jake said has been borne out by a polygraph expert.
You know as well as I do that won't hold up in court because they so often prove wrong.
I'm afraid that Haley's statement won't hold up in court, and I think it's a lot less painful for her to confront her inconsistencies now than in front of a packed courtroom.
Julia's right.
Haley, why don't you go back upstairs?
Come here. Don't you know what she's doing here? She's here because she's defending Jake.
I want to talk to Julia.
I've been saving this dress.
You look really nice.
You don't know how good it feels to be clean.
Would you like something else? You want some makeup or something?
Makeup?
Yeah, I have something. You could use this. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, I better not.
Oh, no, please.
Here.
No, you keep it.
It's really something. When you live like I do, the last thing you ever want to see is a mirror. Now I look in there and I see my mama's face when she was old.
Dottie, I want you to have that. I don't want you to keep it.
Well, maybe just a touch of rouge, what with my clean dress and all. Thank you. It's been a long time since someone gave me something for myself. Especially something pretty.
That was nice.
You know, it's nothing to me. And it's a real treasure to her. But what good is it going to do her tomorrow?
I know.
Have you arranged for a deposition to be taken?
I think we can take care of that real quietly tomorrow at Julia's office with a witness, and it won't scare her off.
I can't believe Julia's pregnant.
I know. I didn't know she was seeing anybody.
Well, whoever the father is, obviously she's not going to marry him.
Doesn't seem like it.
It seems to me that we would have noticed her with someone. I mean, what about Brick? I mean, Brick and Julia are close.
Okay, now let's hold it right there, Eden. Let's hold it.
Hold what?
Now, I know that you can't stand not to know somebody's secret. But I mean, you heard what she said. Julie doesn't want anybody to know.
I found out I wouldn't tell anybody.
She also asked us not to ask any questions. I'm sure that means no questions of her and no questions to others about her. She's our friend, and we are going to honor what she wants,
All
right?
right, then you don't have to push me. I won't ask any questions.
Oh, good. That's good.
I mean, who do we usually see her hanging up? What was that?
What was that?
Dottie? Are you okay?
Oh, I think... Hey, Dottie!
Cruz.
Yeah.
She's gone. She broke the window.
Okay, I'm going to go after
No, don't do that. I mean, she's scared, obviously. And all she'll do is clam up.
Do you recognize the questions they asked Jake during the polygraph?
I don't understand.
Haley, they were taken from information in the statement you made to Keith Timmons. Now, you remember making the statement, don't you?
Yes.
The statement said that the man who attacked you was wearing cowboy boots.
No, I said boots.
Okay. It also said that he smelled of gin.
Yeah.
Do you drink?
I have wine or champagne sometimes with dinner, Ted.
I know that for a lot of people, it's probably difficult to decipher between bourbon and whiskey. I know that I would have trouble being absolutely certain of the smell of gin.
I know gin. I know gin. My father drank gin every day, and when he got upset with... I'd never forget that smell.
Okay. So the man was wearing boots, and he smelled of gin. Does that make you sure that the man who did this to you was
No,
Jake?
Julia, I never said I was sure. Jake had a scratch on his face.
But how can you be sure that you put it there, Haley, if you couldn't see anything?
I know that. But before in the bar...
Before what? Before what?
He was all over me. He wanted to dance with me.
And you're saying because of that, because of what happened, that you think it's Jake?
No. This isn't going right. Timmons is the one who wanted me to say that it was Jake.
Haley, do you think that Jake raped you?
You appear to be at a party that's waiting for Lionel Lockridge. Probably a woman.
The lady is right this way. Then Julia shows up with all these questions. Now Haley's locked herself in the bedroom again.
Don't worry, son. Haley will be just fine. She's tough. So are you.
I don't know, Dad. I'm beginning to think I should just do something differently. I mean, if I was doing the right thing, obviously...
Stop blaming yourself.
Dad, I just saw it coming. I knew he was interested in her. I should have stopped it right from the beginning.
All right, now listen to me. I will not let you go and try to take responsibility of what that pervert did to your wife.
So it was you that got the birthday present for Dad.
Yes? Warren, no matter what has happened, your father did a lot of wonderful things for me. I intend to let him know that I haven't forgotten that and that I won't.
Caroline, putting aside how you feel about Dad, how he feels about you, he's here today. He thinks...
My mind is made up, Warren. Please don't try to talk me out of it. And I'd appreciate it if you didn't ruin my surprise for your father.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, listen, I gotta find Dottie. It's important. Have you seen her?
No, she's not here. A friend of hers came in a few minutes ago. Said old Dottie just left town. What's wrong, Ted?
Julia's grilling Haley. Things were bad enough before.
I would only imagine that she's doing her job.
Wait a second. You knew she was defending Jake?
Yes. Cruz enlisted Julia because he does not believe that Jake is the one who raped Haley.
Oh, this is great. You know, this is the last thing she needs right now, to feel like everybody doubts her.
Now, wait a second, okay? Haley is not the one who pointed the finger at Jake. You should remember that.
So you agree with Cruz and Julia then, huh?
Yes, I do.
I know Jake, Eden. You don't know this guy. Jake raped my wife, and you're on his side against us.
Look, I'm not taking any sides here, but you gotta know.
I don't even want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. You know, you would accuse Haley of making up this whole story if Cruz decided that's what happened.
Oh, now that's not
forget
true.
it.
How dare you, Ted?
Look, I don't want to hear any more about Jake and his purported innocence.
You don't even know the facts, Mason.
The fact is, the man raped my sister-in-law, Julia. Now, I don't know if there's some reason, some mental deficiency that makes a man commit a crime like that, but that's no excuse for what you've done to Haley.
You know, there's obviously no point in discussing this.
Careful.
Julia? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm fine.
Maybe we should call the doctor.
No.
Mason, what's Dr. Biddle's number?
No, what's the big deal? I mean, unless you worry about a negligence suit from her, which wouldn't surprise me considering her clientele of late.
Mason, she could have been hurt. I mean, she could.
It's all right. I'm okay.
I'm sorry. Obviously, we're all just on edge.
Yeah. Thanks anyway.
Any luck finding Dottie?
Oh, well, I put out some feelers, but it looks like Jake's alibi has literally gone out the window.
Well, maybe not.
You know something I don't?
Well, Julia's talking to Haley. Showed her the results of Jake's polygraph, so maybe Haley will start thinking.
That might be the only shot we got right now. Darling, what else?
Oh, Ted's furious with me. He thinks I'm betraying him and Haley.
Well, maybe you should keep your distance from this. Maybe you shouldn't be helping me out on this
No,
case.
no, I want to.
Well, I know that, but if your family is going to come between you and them, it doesn't seem worth it.
You're my family. You're my home.
You sure?
I'm just not so sure about the rest of them. This thing might just tear us all apart.
You're a lawyer. You're supposed to be objective.
I am being objective, Julia. I don't care if Jake is innocent or guilty as long as he goes to jail.
Not only is that infuriating, it is just so typical of you.
Would you stop wiggling around so I can keep this ice pack on your ankle?
I don't want your help, and I don't want your ice, and get your hands off my leg.
All right, fine, but it's going to swell up if you don't keep that ice on it.
I know you, Mason. Ouch. And I know your tactics. I don't think you care at all about Jake, whether he's innocent or guilty, and what's more, I don't think you care about Haley. If you did, you wouldn't be so content to lock up the first guy that comes along instead of going after the guy who might really have raped her.
That is blatantly untrue, and you know it.
That's exactly what would happen if Jake isn't guilty. The guilt isn't really what this is all about, is it? It's revenge. A crime was committed to a Capwell wife, no less. A possession. So Jake made the mistake of flirting with Haley, so why not just throw him in jail? Teach him a lesson. It's the Capwell Code of Ethics.
Julia.
That is the truth, Mason, and I dare you to deny it. The Capwells take care of their own, and anyone else in the whole world can all go to hell. Shoo, ow. Here, welcome to the clan. You probably need that.
Hey, I don't understand why you wanted to talk to Julia.
I want to hear what she had to say.
Why? You know she's defending this guy, so you have to know that she's going to make him sound innocent. Hey, I don't get it. You know, ever since that night, something doesn't seem quite right. And I think I figured out what it might be.
What?
Well, you never said anything about this guy who attacked you, Haley.
It's not true. I told Keith Timmons everything. I made a statement.
Telling him what happened, but you never said anything bad about this guy. You never even seemed angry that this man raped you, Haley.
What difference would that do me? What are you getting at?
I can't help wondering. Maybe you knew it was Jake all along. And you just can't be angry at him because you feel responsible.
You think I led him on?
You're right on time, Mr. Lockridge.
I'd never keep this lady waiting.
I can understand why.
Oh, perfect. That is terrific. Ah, right vintage.
I told you, nothing but the best for you today.
You should have heard her. I know she was upset and all. Maybe she didn't mean all of it, but she was ranting about Capwells and how ruthless we are. Not that I haven't heard the same things before, but she was in rare form even for Julia.
I've been thinking of the Capwells myself lately.
In what way?
I had a run-in with your father at the Orient Express. I finally realized the extent of the influence he has over everyone.
You mean over me?
Partly. I'm more concerned about my baby. I'm not sure I want my child raised in the Capwell world.
Your child? I was under the impression it was going to be ours.
Julian?
Hey.
Are you all right? I was really worried about you when you started to fall.
Thank you. I'm fine.
Look, I know you're discouraged, but you shouldn't worry. You know, Cruz hasn't given up until he'll find Dottie.
I know. I know I can count on Cruz.
Did you and Mason have another fight after I left? You know, you can't let it get to you. Everybody knows that you're doing the right thing, and Mason can kind of be a jerk sometimes, but he knows that you're just doing what you have to do. You'll come around in the end, you'll see.
You think it was my fault I was raped?
I didn't say that. Haley, Jake was at that restaurant that night. He was drinking. He was hanging all over you.
I told you. I tried to get away from him, but I didn't want to make a scene.
And that's all there was to it.
Go on! Tell me everything you want to hear. Tell me!
Haley, for a long time, you and I have not been getting along that great. You were going over to the stables, hanging out with Jake. Now, did something happen? I mean, did you do something so that he thought maybe he might not...